One more thing. Eugene, give me that. If I ever find one of these lying around again, I swear to God, I will stop being so polite. Get the out of my sight before I demolish you.
Hello there guys, gals, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Leigh Paladin and welcome to my review of Season 2, Episode 5 of The Kwan Show. I kid, but it's getting there. I hope you didn't get your hopes up too high after Episode 4 because we have well and truly returned to our regular programming. Picking up where we left off after Episode 4, Chief slowly begins to regain consciousness after being noob comboed by the Arbiter's mate, as Soren and Riz fend off the Coveys and prepare to retreat with an injured Jimmy Rings in tow. After a momentary pause from fighting, the Chief telling Soren to shut up, a brute chieftain slams through the floor above and grav-hammers the Spartans. Just as it seems like they're about to be turned into red mist, guess who shows up to save the day? Soren's wife and Kwan. In their spaceship. How did they know where to find them out of all the cities and buildings on Reach with minimal knowledge of the planet? Who knows? I love the consistent state of shock that Soren's wife always seems to be in, like she always seems to look surprised. Just as they're all about to make it on board the ship and escape from FleetCom, Riz stupidly decides to run back in there to try and get Vanek's body after he got super combined in the heart. Yeah, okay, dude. She runs off into the smoke, barely managing to make it back with Vanek's body before getting shot in the back. I'm gonna spoil it right now. The whole point of this thing of getting Vanek's body, all it does is just give our characters a very boring moral dilemma later in the episode. You'll see what I'm talking about in a bit. As the ship flies off, it's revealed that the Covenant have already started their glassing of Reach. While Chief is drifting in and out of consciousness, we see more of the flashbacks when he got Cortana removed from his head between seasons 1 and 2. Cortana pleads with Admiral Parangoski to save Chief, but Parangoski offers a trade deal. Do something for me, and she'll save Chief. Then the story takes a major pivot and we start following Marquis again with a Christopher Walken looking haircut. She looks on at the destruction. I can't keep doing this. That's being caused on Reach, obviously feeling bad for it, on a ship that I guess is supposed to be Covenant, but where's the damn purple? Because of how poorly lit it is, you would not even be able to tell if this is a UNSC or Covenant ship, because they all just look the same, with these boring looking neon lights around the place and crude metal looking structures. Just make it purple. Just please, just make it purple. Why are production teams so against the idea of color in this show? Honestly, this season is just so bland to look at. Anyway. Marquis and the Arbiter look at Cortana's chip, wondering if she will know what happened to the glowing Forerunner Dorito from season 1 and where it went. Marquis and Cortana, who must be having PTSD flashbacks to the time she peeped in on her and Chief Fuggin, start talking, but all Cortana is giving her is sass and refuses to give her information about the location of Halo that she can somehow recall from Chief's memories when she was in his head. They end up returning to High Charity, where Marquis calls out the prophets for being liars. They can't start the Great Journey, only she can, being one of the Blessed Ones. Arbiter ain't tolerating this heresy though, and before he can slap some sense into her, Cortana displays a hologram of Halo, presumably one plucked from Chief's memories or something. Apparently this stirs up so much emotion in the Arbiter that Marquis is able to convince him to go rogue, just completely jumping the shark on any kind of character development that the Arbiter could have undergone. Similar to Halo 2, he just turns the ship around and goes to find Halo, I guess. Okay. Chief, looking a little worse for wear, wakes up and has a chat to Halsey, checking in on Riz's condition. Halsey breaks the news that Reach has basically already fallen, as Chief was out for 2 days. So let me just get this straight, okay? You're telling me that the fall of Reach happened and the Chief was fucking asleep! It's okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's not like it's one of the most important moments in Halo's timeline, but was completely glossed over and done in one episode. Jesus wept, these writers have absolutely no idea what they're doing, do they? They set in a course for Illyria, an abandoned mining planet that apparently Kessler, Soren's son, has been sent to. How do they know that? Who knows? Kwan has Vanek's body just sitting on a slab somewhere in this ship. Apparently Kwan stays with him every night. whatever the actual fuck that means, you creepy woman. Landing at some abandoned mining town on Alaria, they get Riz to a medical facility so she can be operated on immediately. Soren and co go on a side mission to find Kessler, after which the pace of the episode slows right the hell down. Soren and his wife go to where they think Kessler is. Turns out it's just a random kid who has his helmet, so this will be a B-plot that runs for the rest of the season, no doubt. Eventually they discover that the UNSC stole Kessler. I'm getting the vibe that he's going to become a Spartan 3 somehow, and suffer a similar fate to that of his father. Chief and Kwan have an argument about burying Vanek's body. Riz manages to pull through after her operation, but she's seriously messed up and nowhere near fighting form like she once was. While Kwan is trying to bury Vanek's body, she's visited by a bunch of locals and Red Hoods who start fighting Kwan over Vanek's body, who decide to cremate him, which just comes completely out of nowhere. They hold a funeral pyre for Vanek. Jimmy rings, gives a couple of words, then lights him up, vowing to find the ones who caused his death. Halsey tries convincing Jedediah Circumference that going after Ackerson, Perengoski, and Oni is a fool's gambit, and that what he should be doing is trying to help humanity find Halo, is what we could learn from it might be enough to save our species or some shit. Halsey's motivations are just so vague. Like, how does she know Halo is this ancient alien superstructure that's going to save humanity? You know, it could be any number of things. Why does your mind default to that? Suddenly, Kwan starts having visions of the old woman from the first episode, who literally got atomized by a glassing beam in episode 1. But okay, we're doing mystics and shit, like season 1 again. Cool, right, because everyone loved that plot thread so much. Riz decides to stay behind on Alaria, saying that her fight is over. And you know what? Fair enough. She needs crutches to walk, and she's been through enough. Jimmy ain't too happy about this, of course, but there's nothing he can do about it. He and Halsey board the ship and get ready to find Ackerson, Oni, etc. As it turns out, they're on the planet Onyx, with Kai, who straight up abandoned Silver Team. Posters litter the walls of this Oni facility that are clearly propaganda and betray the chief as being dead. Kai steps out to see a whole ass army of Spartan 3s and SPI armor standing to attention, and then the episode ends. So, did it suck? Well, I'm leaning towards that option for sure. The thing that pissed me off the most about this is that the fall of Reach has already happened. It's done. It's over. It primarily happened off screen. What the marketing for this show was leading towards, what we were all getting teased about, and Reach gets glassed and done in one episode. I'm pretty sure I called this a couple of years back while reviewing season 1 that Reach was going to be destroyed in one episode and that they should give it a whole season's worth of time to build up to the confrontation between humanity and the Covenant on the planet, really give it the send-off that it deserves and show the awful cost of life, as it is one of the most important events in Halo's timeline that essentially pushes the story of the games and everything that follows. We get a tiny, isolated battle at FleetCom and in Reach City, and Halsey telling us about how bad it was, but that's it. Let me just reiterate this. The fall of Reach happens off-screen. That's it. It seems like Onyx is being set up to fill the role of Reach. I mean, they've got the Spartan 3s, like Reach from the Gold timeline. It seems to be far more militarized, like Reach was from the Gold timeline. I also hate the way that they've treated the Arbiter this season. At the first glimpse of Halo, he turns his back on his religion and his very way of life because Christopher Walken told him to. Where's the inner conflict? The slow realization that the prophets have been misleading him all this time. It's just, okay, I believe the ramblings of this blessed one who totally wasn't just crying at the sight of Reach burning and other humans dying and had a fling with Master Cheeks, which could signal that she has alternative motives or something. Barrow has a room temperature IQ if he falls for that so easily. Absolutely no build up to that at all. Markey is literally just a catalyst to rush the Arbiter's character arc and something that ultimately is going to turn out worse than how it was depicted in the games. Mark my words. No Halo theme for when Cortana showed a hologram of Halo as well. At least season 1 got that bit right. Could have been an easy way to make that scene more emotional and connect to the Arbiter a little bit more in that scene, especially for us fans who love the music, while also tying it back to the show's main theme tune that plays during the opening credits and shows, oh, I don't know, a Halo. I did like some of the dialogue between Halsey and Chief, some of the more philosophical discussions about what Spartans are and the words Chief gave at Vanek's funeral pyre. But everything else about this episode was just so boring. All the stuff with Soren finding Kessler, I couldn't care less about, and it takes up over half the runtime of this episode. I know where it's all leading, alright? All roads lead to Onyx and the Spartan 3 program, apparently. The whole child soldier thing and mirroring his father becoming a Spartan, him wearing a Spartan helmet, it couldn't possibly be any more obvious. The writing in this show is about as subtle as a bull in a china shop. I'm giving this episode a 3 out of 10. I just hate slow-paced, filler kind of stuff like this. I should have known this was going to happen after how action-packed episode 4 was, and I'm not looking forward to how the rest of the season is going to play out if it's anything like what this episode was. So, let me know what you thought about episode 5 of season 2 of the Halo TV show. If you like the video, feel free to drop a like, and you should definitely subscribe as well. You wouldn't. You're way scared. About as scared as the writers are to show the glassing of Reach. They showed it off screen! Fuck! I can't get over that!